James will miss the close community of Highland Park when he goes to college, but he's looking forward to playing college lacrosse and meeting new people. He says his best HP lacrosse memory is winning the 2025 state championship. Number 10, James Allen. Number 2, Jackson Bond, captain, defense. Jackson is escorted tonight by his parents Casey and Bo, his brother Brooks, and his grandfather Bill Bond. Jackson will be attending and playing lacrosse at the University of North Carolina. He shares the best lacrosse he ever had received was hard work beats talent. Jackson will miss his family and friends most while he's in college. He says the thing he loves most about lacrosse is playing a sport he loves with his friends. Number 2, Jackson Bond. Number 13, Hutch Brooker. Hutch is escorted tonight by his parents, Rebecca and Chip. Hutch will be attending Wake Forest University in the fall. His most valuable character quality is his perseverance, and his advice for his young lacrosse player is take every rep seriously. Hutch says that the game that's taught him the most is to handle adversity, and the best lacrosse advice he received is control, effort, and attitude. He will miss his family and friends when he leaves for college and aspires to be one day work in publishing. Number 13, Hutch Brooker. Number 14, Harrison Cullum, short stick defensive midfielder. Harrison is escorted tonight by his parents, Rochelle and Stewart. He will be attending Syracuse University to continue his academic and lacrosse career. His most valuable character quality is loyalty, and he says that lacrosse has taught him about teamwork. Harrison will miss his parents most when he leaves for college, but he's looking forward to playing college lacrosse. He says the best lacrosse advice he received was to be coachable. Harrison Cullum. Number 35, Mac Dixon, long stick Miggy. Mac is escorted tonight by his parents, Betsy and Grant. Mac will be attending Monmouth University, where he will continue to play lacrosse. When asked what he enjoys most about lacrosse, Mac says game days. He prepares for games by reading his Bible. Mac will miss his family most when he heads to Monmouth, but looks forward to playing lacrosse in college. The best lacrosse he received is 0 = 0, courtesy of Coach Dunn. Mac Dixon. Number 18, J.R. Faria, face-off specialist. J.R. is escorted tonight by his dad, Ian, and his sister, Nicole. J.R. will be attending the University of Massachusetts, where he will continue his academic and lacrosse career. His most valuable character quality is loyalty, and he aspires to be a lawyer. He will miss his dog as he leaves for college, but looks forward to making friends and playing college lacrosse. His best lacrosse memory is winning the 2025 state championship. J.R. Faria. Number 20, Hunt Henry, captain, midfielder. Hunt is escorted tonight by his parents, Kate and Hunter. Hunt will be attending Duke University, where he will continue his lacrosse career. He says the game has taught him how to compete and work hard for what he wants, and his advice for his young lacrosse player is master the fundamentals. Hunt's most valuable character quality is being hardworking, and he will miss his family the most when he heads to Duke. His favorite HC lacrosse memory is the 2025 state championship. Number 20, Hunt Henry. Heinrich Johnson, number 5, midfielder. Heinrich is escorted by his parents, Chantal and Grant. Heinrich will be attending the University of Texas. He prepares for the games by doing Supermans, and his advice for young lacrosse players is to do wall ball as much as you can. Heinrich will miss spending time with his buddies most as he heads to college, but he looks forward to making new friends. The best lacrosse advice he got was do the ordinary well. Number 5, Heinrich Johnson. Number 19, Connor McCutcheon, attackman. Connor is escorted tonight by his mom, Susan Genevine, Bob Genevine, his dad, Rob McCutcheon, and Sky Smith. He will be attending the University of Texas in Austin. Connor's most valuable character quality is loyalty. When asked what he enjoys most about lacrosse, he said, being with the team. His advice to his younger lacrosse players is to enjoy the process. He said he will miss his family most when he leaves for college. His best HP lacrosse memory is the 2025 state championship. Number 19, Connor McCutcheon. Number 26, Conrad Noble, defenseman. Conrad is escorted by his parents, Meredith and Ted. Conrad will be attending the University of Texas. The best lacrosse advice he received is, if you are open, shoot it. Conrad prepares his games by having a good pregame meal, and his most valuable character quality is his positive attitude. He will miss his dog, Maggie, and when he leaves for Austin and looks forward to intramural basketball in college. Number 26, Conrad Noble. Number 23, Bodie Para, captain, midfielder. Bodie is escorted tonight by his parents, Alexa and Brian. He is undecided about his college destination. Bodie prepares for games by queuing up his top songs and praying, and says the lacrosse taught him the most important thing is to trust the team. He will miss seeing his mom the most when he leaves for college and looks forward to expanding friendships, experiences, and knowledge. Bodie says that his advice for young lacrosse players is cherish every moment with your teammates and always keep your heads up. Number 23, Bodie Para. Number 11, Pierce Powers, long stick midi. Pierce is escorted tonight by his parents, Allison Powers and John Walsh. Pierce will be attending Holy Cross, where he will continue his lacrosse career. Pierce prepares for the game by playing music excessively loud, and his best advice for young lacrosse players is to control the controllables. He says the game has taught him how to handle sacrifice. Pierce will miss the warm weather here most when he heads to Massachusetts for college, but he looks forward to being back on the East Coast. Number 11, Pierce Powers. Number 12, Carter Sutton, midfielder. Carter is escorted by his parents tonight, Holly and Pat. Carter will be attending Rollins College, where he'll continue his college career. His most valuable character quality is grit, and he aspires to be a real estate advisor. Carter prepares for games by team prayer and a calm music and offers advice to his young players. Enjoy every moment and do not take it too seriously. He looks forward to meeting new friends and growing up as a college person. He will miss his home-cooked meals. Number 12, Carter Sutton. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause for your Highland Park class of 2026. The players and their families would like to thank Coach Pressler, Coach Dunn, Coach Ledman, Coach Stover, and Coach Lebetti for their leadership and guidance throughout the lacrosse field. We'd like to thank Senior Anna Melchek, a member of the Lads and Lassies Persians, as she will sing the national anthem for us. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats in honor of the great country.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alright, y'all ready? Here we go. There we go. 1, 2. Oh, Grandpa, I can't see you. Come back. Right there. There we go. All right, look. Everybody look here. Nobody move. Rodney, jump in. Rodney. Slowly. What? Just go to the closest corner. All right, we got to play a game. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Do not get down on that knee. Perfect. Congrats. That's cute.
Keeping out of trouble together. Thank you. Grab a chair. You hear them say on TV? Yes, sir.
Want to welcome you into Highlander Stadium, where the Highland Park Scots take on the McKinney Blue Jays. Boy, do we have an awesome matchup planned for you here today in the Park Cities. We got all of that and so much more coming up next here on Game On Sports.
I came to fight, I came for war.
That was good.
I came to win, to settle the score. I came for the throne, to take it all. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So bring the pain, and bring some more. I came to fight, I came for war.
Good evening and welcome to the ninth wonder of the world, Highlander Stadium, located on the beautiful and iconic campus of Highland Park High School, home of your Highland Park Scots. Tonight, it's senior night, an opportunity to celebrate a class that has helped define the standard through leadership, commitment, and the way they've carried this program both on and off the field. For them, this is the last regular season home game here at Highlander Stadium. Hello, everyone. I'm Heckman Harrison alongside Cade Hamner. And Cade, the Scots take on McKinney tonight, but Cade, this one starts with appreciation for what this senior class has done.
It sure does, Hackman. They've been, as we see, Pierce Powers out for the face-off there. Such a big part of any program is ending on a senior night like this and let these kids get honors with their family, parents that put in so much work. And we got a great senior class here this year. And go quickly to the starting lineup for Highland Park. At attack, we've got James Allen, Connor McCutcheon, and Harrison Brown. The midfielders, Hunt Henry, Colton Highland, and Henrik Johnson. The defense, Jackson Bond, Ford Blevins, and Luke Rudder. In goal tonight, it's Willie White. That's the Brooker Law starting lineup.
And a quick miscue there between Harrison Brown and Hunt Henry. And one miscue deserves another one. That one going out of bounds as the Scots will have another opportunity here on offense as the captain, Jackson Bond, brings the ball in. And like I started this off, man, talking about these seniors, Cade, this is one of these great opportunities that I've had. I think last year's class was the first class that I had that I'd been calling their games from freshman all the way to senior.
Right.
So getting an opportunity to know these guys 4 years over the years, obviously it's bittersweet for me because, man, this is the last time you see a lot of these guys in the regular season here at home. Obviously you want to stretch this into the playoffs and do really good things as you see the senior.
Talk about a senior.
Talk about a senior, right? Hunt Henry, in fitting form, a senior scores the first goal on senior night.
Yeah, your Magic Stick Award to Hunt Henry there, the senior captain off to Durham, North Carolina, Duke University next year. But, you know, I feel the same way. You get tied to calling these guys, you know, year after year. You watch them go through from freshman year all the way to senior year, see where they've committed. And then I'm finally at the age, Heckman, where with my son on this team, I've known so many of these kids since second, third grade. And you really do get attached to these little kids. And, you know, you see them growing into young men, big, tall, strong guys, and you still see that little kid in there. But it's bittersweet, but there's business to do tonight, business to do the rest of this week. And Mother's Day weekend is on the horizon, and that is a date circled on the calendar for the Scots.
Yeah, it has been dubbed the Era of Excellence this season, and I think when you talk about the way that the season has gone so far for the Scots, other than Culver, It has been nothing but business for these guys. Obviously, last week versus Southlake, you were not here. You were on an airplane making your way to the stadium. But, man, Josh Zilke and myself, we really did have a treat on our hands as the Scots kind of stacked the decks against themselves early in that one, but they came out victorious.
Yeah, you guys did a great job on the call. You sounded great from 30,000 feet. And, well, here's the Blue Jays for McKinney getting it on the board. It's 1-1.
Jack Squire walking the chalk and able to get that one. I believe that's Willie White in between the pipes that he's able to get that one past White for the score as we are knotted up at 9:09.
Yeah, this is one of those games, Hackman, as with the Southlake game. Southlake probably a tougher opponent than this, but you got to come out and do things right early. This is a start that I can tell you Coach Pressler's not going to be happy with. Last year, as you'll recall, we ended the season with a loss to Jesuit at their place, and really kind of something that got the guys fired up. And boy, I can see something gonna go the wrong way here if the Scots don't pull it together here, because let me tell you, Coach Pressler was not happy about the Southlake performance, at least from the standpoint of doing the fundamentals correctly. And we could be looking at an early timeout here.
Well, quick 2 points, 2 goals scored here from the McKinney Blue Jays as number 11, Pierce Powers, is back down at the X.
You know, both face-off specialists for Highland Park a little banged up, so it's not that they couldn't play. I think they're both not dressed tonight, but both, you know, suffering a little bit of bumps and bruises at this point in the season, trying to get ready for, certainly for Friday, certainly for the postseason. But you got to take care of business here tonight. And so far, the Blue Jays of McKinney out front.
Yeah, this is a winless Blue Jays squad per their record. 0-2 in district and 0-9 overall. Carter Sutton making his way back inside. That was a great pass inside to James Allen. James Allen not able to get the back of the net.
Yeah, Allen with a good underhanded shot there, then gets the rebound, knocks it out where he can get it under control, and Scots get evidently did not hit the goalie. No reset of the shot clock, so we're at 20.
McCutcheon trying to make his way back topside. You see the slide coming. That's great defense by the Blue Jays. 12 seconds now on the shot clock. Harrison Brown inside, running it back behind X, 6 seconds. McCutcheon in close, and wow, you talk about 3, 2, 1, bang, yeah. And he's able to get that one in. I believe that's Connor McCutcheon on the score.
It was. It just gets it in at the last second and then kind of pulls up like, I don't know if he strained something when he jumped up, kind of hand on his side there, or if he took a shot to the ribs. But
yeah, may have paid for that one, leaving his feet.
Yeah, slow start for the Highland Park Scots here, 2-2, but not the crisp form that you want to show at this point in the season.
No, not at all. And again, you talk about our face-off guys being a little banged up, and you see here early where the Blue Jays have been able to take advantage by winning at the face-off. So another opportunity on offense and opportunity for our defense.
You know, it goes to show you how important the middle of the field is, like Coach Pressler talks about. Suddenly you're without your 2 face-off specialists. And you can see the result in time of possession and number of possessions.
Luke Rudder out again. You can tell, look, velcroed onto his man, onto Jack Squire, who scored that goal just a second ago for the Blue Jays. Pierce Powers again on defense, and that one is off the mark. 17 seconds on the shot clock now for the Blue Jays.
Good trail check there by Pierce Powers to make that shot go wide. Then should be an over and back call, but it's just a possession to Highland Park.
Harrison Brown, boy, great job bringing the defense his way.
Yeah, it's Dean Doolin with a shot to the chest of the goalie.
Because Dean Doolin, I don't get a chance to do this often. What do I do with this thing?
He got the pump fake down, but the resulting shot was straight into the chest pad of the goalie.
And a guy that worked so hard on the both ends of the floor of the field, really get an opportunity to score there. You really would have liked to see Dean get one to hit the back of the net. 55 seconds on the shot clock. McCutcheon bringing the ball in.
You know, but in the life cycle of a season, Heckman, you know, you talk about this, the great coaches talk about it, Nick Saban and the like. It's you know, to be the top team, to be a #1 team, to stay on top, that's an emotional toll too. And you take this roller coaster of having to get up when every team's season, the Blue Jays would like nothing more than a competitive matchup tonight, much less a win. And you got to get up for that. You got to be ready for it.
They would carry their coach all the way back to Allen if they won this game.
That's
Let
right.
them believe it. They would parade. So yeah, they come in. Obviously, it would be a major upset. Another great job on the far side by Jackson Bond.
Yeah, Jackson Bond with the old pickpocket there.
Clean in transition. Finn Zilke with the pass.
You know, it's ultimately the depth is going to be the enemy of McKinney tonight. They just don't have the depth to run as crisp as they look in the first quarter here.
Corbin Gray waiting on the substitution from the far side. Back to the middle of the field. That's Carter Sutton. Catch and release there by Carter.
Yeah, off the pipe. We'll get an 80-second reset.
And 3:47. That's top cheddar right there. James Allen, another senior, making it count as the Scots advance by a score.
Yeah, three goals, 3 senior goals so far with Henry, McCutcheon, and Allen. So a couple more senior starters we need to get on the board.
We're not done yet. That's something else, man. These seniors have spent so many years on this field, and tonight every step is going to matter for them in the last regular season home game.
Yeah, Cook Chillian with a good tie up there, and Hunt Henry able to come in behind him and scoop up that ball for a face-off win in the possession.
Dean Doolin runs across as Colton Heinlein controls the rock for the Scots. Heinlein in between the numbers and the hash, back to Henry. Hunt, great pass. Trying to get that one in to Johnson. Scots having a problem getting control of the rock. They get it back.
It's certainly a fine line. Coach Pressler knows this. It happens at every level. You know, the
money.
There's Harrison Brown breaking the senior streak there.
You knew it was coming. Harrison Brown, lethal from that right side, just waiting with his stick for an opportunity to score. In no way Joe Gilliard is going to get in front of that one. Harrison Brown making his presence felt here with a score. Score now for the Scots, 4-2.
But every coach deals with, how do you get your team emotionally ready for every game? It's certainly something that comes with maturity, but even in the most mature collegiate teams, professional teams, you see it too. When you're playing a team like Memphis University School or Bentonville High School, your year's kind of still getting underway. There's that excitement there about every game. And then really you get through midseason form, you kind of know you're going to the playoffs, and you still have to finish out your schedule no matter the opponent, and got to be mature enough to take the process and play the games on your schedule, win the matchups you're supposed to. I don't know if that was a illegal screen there, Heckma, or what exactly that was.
I thought it was a timeout called. I did not believe that there was a violation on the Scots. However, I have been blamed for being partial. It's okay. Trying to work their way back inside, losing the rock. That is a dangerous place to be in the teeth of this defense for Blevins, who has had himself quite a year.
Yeah, Blevins getting the start in about the third game of the season. Sliding Mac Dixon up to the LSM spot. And there's Connor McCutcheon again.
No, they worked those passes off like constellations right there, and then you get it inside front porch, and you put that one to the back of the net. Great job, great sharing for this team that has gone up by 3 goals. 1:12 left here in the first quarter for the Scots.
Just as you mentioned, Ford Blevins, I mentioned Mac Dixon. He's down on the other end with the assist to Connor McCutcheon. So Mac Dixon on his way to Monmouth University. One of the 8 seniors playing at the next level. One of the 14 commits on this team.
Now, we had all these seniors, and you got a freshman out there at the face-off, Cook Chillian, with the win at the X. And one day I'm sitting here, and I'm going to say Cook Chillian, the senior.
I know.
It's just like that. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm grayer already.
Yeah, unlikely to be on face-off duties as a senior, but you never know. He's had success, and good to be able to lean on him here.
Inside that one. How about that? That goes from one pipe to the other side, but it's still good. And that's Colton Heinlein with a score.
Colton Heinlein scoring. Another senior assist coming from Henrik Johnson, number 5.
As you see a replay right here, and again, hits the left and back to the right. And Joe Gilliard, the goalie for the Blue Jays, is just trying to figure out where that one went. He heard it. Didn't see it.
Pierce Powers now out there and having success. He's a senior LSM headed to Holy Cross.
Another one inside. James Allen now with the pass from Carter Sutton and trying to split the defense. Flag comes out. I think that one's going to be on the Blue Jays. So man up opportunity coming here for the Scots. And that's the end of the first quarter. Scots up by 4. And we'll take a break for the end of the first and return to action for the beginning of the second quarter here on Game On Sports.
For over a century, we've been financing the American dream for those who dare to chase it. The job creators, the economic stimulators, the relentless entrepreneurs that refuse to be denied. For this, we know. Fortune favors the bold. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
I take the cars to get washed frequently, not so much because they're particularly dirty, but because it's like visiting family every couple of weeks and having an hour to spend with friends. From the moment I pull onto the service drive or go into the showroom, there's always someone being polite and kind and friendly. I visit with 6 or 8 people who know me by name every time, and I know them by name. I will always drive a Sewell.
Experience the Sewell difference for yourself today at Sewell Buick GMC.
Nothing, I tell you what, Vista Bank does it well with the hype video. Love that, and give a special shout out to all of the sponsors, specifically and especially Vista Bank.
Scott's on a man up here. That was a push with possession call down on the other end right at the end of the first quarter. Scott's with the first man up situation of the day.
How about that? Great execution coming out of the quarter break. And just like that, I'll tell you what, executed to perfection with another score by the Scots.
Yeah, smooth execution there. Got a face-off watch for James Allen, face-off watch for Connor McCutcheon, 2 seniors on it tonight. And Scott's starting to find their rhythm there. Kind of get out of the nerves of that first 4 or 5 minutes. The other team's hyped, gets a couple on the board. And, you know, there's a maturity level to that as well. Just holding form, hanging in there and playing your game, and no panic, as Coach Presser likes to say.
Cook Chillian with another victory. At the faceoff, this one's going to roll out of bounds. Possession, though, going to go the other way for the Blue Jays. Hagan Land bringing the ball in bounds for the Blue Jays. Long pass to Jack Squire.
Yeah, this McKinney team, kind of a reset year for them. They absorbed the Allen program. And that's why you see the McKinney Blue Jays kind of go to a neutral mascot. Blue Jays, of course, a known commodity in lacrosse world with the success that Johns Hopkins has had in the history of college lacrosse. But good to see these programs surviving, hanging in there as they get the reset.
And Squire trying to go back with the move to get back top side and not able to get that shot to hit the back of the net. Better defense there by the Scots on Squire.
There's Allen again looking for it.
You know, the last time we were down there field level, we can hear them barking out so many different calls. You could hear it from up here, and there's another shot from Carter Sutton. That's one of the advantages that I got coming out of Rockwall.
That's right.
All of the calls that were being made in real time down on the field that we don't get to hear from up here. And we may hear it, but we don't know what it is that's being called. And how about that? Another senior in on the act, James Allen.
He gets a hat trick.
Is that the hat trick for Allen?
That's the hat trick.
Boy, early hat trick by James Allen.
Good movement down inside there. Good cutters. Nice alley dodge by James Allen, and kind of settles in the crease and gets one of those catch and release shots that Heckman likes so much.
Oh, man, you know I love it so much, especially when it's executed like that. Pierce Powers with an opportunity at the face-off and is able to rake that one off the carpet. 8-2 with 9:16 left in the first half.
Hendrick Johnson, excuse me, that's Miller Merritt checking in. He was on the last shift. Left-handed attackman taking a midi shift here as the starting attackman is still on the field. Starting attack line. Here's one we're talking about.
You cannot. A word to the wise, if you're watching this, you cannot allow Harrison Brown to have that much space. He is going to make you pay. The guy ducks in front of him. At number
I don't blame him, Heckma, but like you said, Harrison Brown, like he's on a pitcher's mound there. You can't give a guy that much room. Sorry, I lost my partner there.
I'm sorry. I mean, look, I've seen a lot of things, right? That's one of those.
We've seen Hunt Henry duck for
Right.
Carter Sutton to shoot.
Same team, right? The same team. I've never seen an opposing player do that. So, all right, 9-2, 8:28 left here in the first half. But yeah, you kid, that is a guy that you just can't allow to have that kind of space. They work it back around to him, and this time, number 12, Hagan Land, is trying to make his way around the screen. Ash Brown now with another opportunity, waiting to get his hand. Ah, boy, I tell you what, he drug the defense with him right there. Boy, I thought he was going to have an opportunity there with Carter Sutton.
Yeah, ball gets close and just not able to. Grady Gearing with the effort there to pull it back, but goes across over and back for Highland Park, and the Blue Jays get a running start at it.
I tell you what, 10 seconds into the shot clock, they get a shot attempt off. So, they're staying aggressive.
And that will go back the other way. There's Mac Dixon.
Number 19, Connor McCutcheon, the senior, making them pay in close. And you love that. He uses the pump fake and then disposes.
That's the second hat trick of the night. Connor McCutcheon, senior number 2 with a hat trick. 2 assists for Mac Dixon.
Tell you what, man, great score. And these two guys, Connor McCutcheon and James Allen, hey, they came out here with it on their mind, and they are making it count for senior night, last regular season game for this group.
Yeah, the LSMs for Highland Park working the face-off all night have done a great job so far. McKinney coming out on the long side of that one after a 50-50 ball.
I always know when Conrad Noble's on the field. And so all of a sudden everybody shrinks a little bit.
That's right.
The senior getting in on the action is Finn Zilke. And so Josh was up here, and obviously I'm very complimentary of Finn, and I have to tell him, I'm not just saying that because you're here.
No,
I'm saying that because this kid has made a name for himself this season for being tough.
Hey, let me tell you something. Duncan Zilke earned a starting spot at Quinnipiac, was the leading scorer last week, and got Rookie of the Week honors for the conference. He's really coming on. As much as Finn is down here, glad to see Duncan doing so well at the next level.
I think as the president of the Duncan Zilke fan club, that one gets past. How about that? If you're going to get it, is the Brownie shows up here early in the first half, and that is one that I'm sure that their goalie is saying, how in the world did that get past me? And Joe.
Yeah, Jack Foster, the freshman, and a little help from the Brownie.
A little help from the Brownie, tilting the field as Gillier is hitting himself on the head like, how did that just happen? Stranger things have happened, Joe.
Yeah, it's not you. It's not you.
Another opportunity here for the freshman. I do believe that's Cook Chillian down at the face-off, and they're Blue Jays able to win that.
Yeah, they go pole on pole there finally. The Blue Jays put a pole across from Cook, and the call was Highland Park left the restraining box early there, possession to McKinney.
Noble all over his man on the far side.
Yeah, Conrad Noble, Defensive Player of the Year for the district in basketball. Headed to University of Texas, said he's looking forward to intramural basketball. No doubt.
Looking forward to it. Now he's getting an opportunity here on defense. That one
And Ford Crosland now in. We're missing some of these changes. Number 4, Ford Crosland, the sophomore between the pipes. And we've got...
I absolutely did miss that one. Didn't see when Ford came in. My apologies. But Crosland is in between the pipes.
So you got Rudder, Noble. You've got Cook Chilling out at LSM and Dean Doolin and Corbin Gray out there.
Easy pickings for Crosland.
Here we go. Cook moves it down.
Nice work. Grady Gearing, right place, right time, and making it count. Scots on a roll, up by 10 here with 4:31 left in the first half.
Yeah, defense getting started, a good transition fast break there, and Scott's always looking for the extra pass, and they find Grady Gearing.
Pierce Powers now out at the faceoff for the Scots. Finn Zilke on the near side wing. Colton Highland on the far side wing.
Great pickup by Pierce there.
He chased it down. Crosland now with an opportunity to facilitate the clear. Long pass over to Colton Highland. You expect for guys like Jackson Bond, I mean, I think there's been some other substitutions. You think there may be a night for him. That may be the night for him unless there's I know he's on the man down defense.
Yeah, I think that probably for those starters that you see getting substituted out, that's probably the night for them. I think the same thing with I think the entire starting attack line is out now. We have talked about it before. The midi line, we run 3 midi lines, so you're going to continue to see those guys throughout the night. Maybe the starting line, maybe 4 or 5 deep on a fewer rotation, but you still got to play your middies.
And that's one goal that
Carter Sutton out there on the wing here.
Gilliard just loses the ball, and McCutcheon just obliges. He leaves the ball right there in the circle. He takes it, and that's an easy score for the Scots. And up by 11. You can see the Scots score maybe 2-3 more goals before the end of this first half. Talk about them getting into a rhythm. You're starting to see it here.
Yeah, McCutcheon's still out there for that starting attack line.
Carter Sutton, oh, wow. Lulled him to sleep with the shot. They expected him to load up for it, and he gets it in. That's the second one for the freshman, Jack Foster.
Yeah, you can see his face on the camera there. He's face lighting up, starting to get a little work. You know, you're going to need these guys. You're always coaching next year's team, as Coach Pressler likes to say, and that's how you do it. You get these youngsters in there, let them score meaningful goals from seniors, from juniors, from getting these feeds from these guys that are going to be playing at the next level this year.
That's just unselfish play right there. When Carter Sutton can score from that distance.
That's right.
And he loads up a shot, but instead of shooting it, he gets it to the freshman that's standing right there at the crease. This team has displayed how unselfish they are willing to play all season long. To a fault sometimes.
Early on we kind of thought that. Certainly the Culver game, I was looking for someone to really take over, be the shooter. But ever since, they're not shy to shoot. They move the ball around, and so far, when we've needed someone to take over, we've been able to find someone to at least get the party started. Not shy to shoot. We've got a lot of. I'll get the stats here at halftime. A lot of different shooters so far tonight. 2 hat tricks, and Allen and McCutcheon. A couple more on the watch.
Yeah, McCutcheon with 4 so far tonight. And Noble defending minute 35 is trying to get another one off as the Blue Jays with a score. That one getting past Crosland.
Yeah, big wraparound motion there, and he's able to fire it off. And that's, I talk about that shot with Harrison Brown doing that a lot. That stick, you're on that kind of bootleg, let's call it, and your stick is behind your back. Finally comes over the top, hard to see, and a good strategy for any shooter.
One of those shots that plays with the eyes of the goalie. We've seen Harrison Brown execute that quite often. Well, maybe been an opportunity for a long pole goal. Who's going to come away with the loose ball? Scott's trying to hustle it down.
That'll be a loose ball push.
Loose ball push, you called it.
Possession to the Highland Park, 30 seconds, 35. Let's see if we can get another one here. Middle Merritt checks in, Hunt Henry checks in.
Guys recognizing that the shot clock is of no consequence. 15 seconds now on the game clock. Merritt working his way back inside for the bouncer. Miller Merritt with the shot. I said they were going to score 3 before we went in at half, and that's what you get.
Yeah, Miller Merritt, I could tell the way he was hanging around the top of the zone like that. He was wanting to get that shot. That's lefty, low-handed shot from the 12 o'clock position. Like to see that.
And so
for the big sophomore.
With that shot right there, that is the first half has expired as we get ready for halftime. Scott's on a roll. We'll take a break with them for halftime and return to action in the third quarter here on Game On Sports.
The best part about being a neighborhood bank is the neighborhood. It's the parks. It's the ball games. And it's the people we get to call neighbors. It's the friendly faces we see on the streets and in our lobby. Because at Benchmark, it's not about numbers. It's about neighbors. Our neighbors. Benchmark has your back. Benchmark Bank, family owned by Texans since 1964.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For over a century, we've been financing the American dream for those who dare to chase it. The job creators, the economic stimulators, the relentless entrepreneurs that refuse to be denied. For this we know, fortune favors the bold. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
From the first time you pull in the driveway to the time you pick up your vehicle to the way the cashier handles the transaction, everything you touch physically in the dealership is quality. It just keeps layering in that your trust that you're dealing with a sincere organization, a sincerely well-managed organization. I drive a Sewell.
Experience the Sewell difference for yourself today at Sewell Cadillac.
The best part about being a neighborhood bank is the neighborhood. It's the parks. It's the ball games. And it's the people we get to call neighbors. It's the friendly faces we see on the streets and in our lobby. Because at Benchmark, it's not about numbers. It's about neighbors. Our neighbors. Benchmark has your back. Benchmark Bank, family owned by Texans since 1964.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sewell really does listen to you. You're not just a dollar sign to them, and they really listen to your needs. And if you tell them, hey, I'm just looking right now, I might come back in a month or two, I'm not ready to buy yet, they don't care if they're gonna sell me a $50,000 car or $90,000 car. They don't really care about that. They care about listening to who I am and what I need. And I love that. I can't buy anywhere else. I won't buy a car anywhere else. I drive a Sewell.
Experience the Sewell difference for yourself today at Sewell Infinity in Dallas or Fort Worth.
For over a century, we've been financing the American dream for those who dare to chase it. The job creators, the economic stimulators, the relentless entrepreneurs that refuse to be denied. For this we know, fortune favors the bold. Vista Bank, Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
They're like a super machine when you need to get a loan car. Getting out your booster seats, getting out your child care seats, getting out cleats, getting out bats, getting out balls. They are in, they are on, they are transferring it from one car to the other, and they make sure that they get you on your way. Being respectful of other people's times is a huge portion of making sure that the service that you provide is excellent. And it gives you peace of mind as a customer to make sure that they know what they're doing. I drive a Sewell.
Experience the Sewell difference for yourself today at Sewell Lexus in Dallas or Fort Worth.
The best part about being a neighborhood bank is the neighborhood. It's the parks. It's the ball games. And it's the people we get to call neighbors. It's the friendly faces we see on the streets and in our lobby. Because at Benchmark, it's not about numbers. It's about neighbors. Our neighbors. Benchmark has your back. Benchmark Bank, family owned by Texans since 1964.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I take the cars to get washed frequently, not so much because they're particularly dirty, but because it's like visiting family every couple of weeks and having an hour to spend with friends. From the moment I pull onto the service drive or go into the showroom, there's always someone being polite and kind and friendly. I visit with 6 or 8 people who know me by name every time, and I know them by name. I will always drive a Sewell.
Experience the Sewell difference for yourself today at Sewell Buick GMC.
For over a century, we've been financing the American dream for those who dare to chase it. The job creators, the economic stimulators, the relentless entrepreneurs that refuse to be denied. For this we know, fortune favors the bold. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
That's a look in at Highlander Stadium. It's senior night here on Game On Sports. The Scots up big as you get a look at the parents, all in attendance, obviously, for senior night. Let's get some first half highlights dominated by the Highland Park Scots.
Yeah, 15 points, Heckma, 8 different scorers, 2 hat tricks, including Connor McCutcheon's 4. A beautiful shot by the national anthem as we honored the seniors tonight. That's them and their families. Hunt Henry gets us started there. Senior captain headed to Duke. And McKinney getting a couple. Connor McCutcheon there. Fred Garner goalie cam. Great shots as always. And after a first few nervous minutes there, Highland Park got it under control. But heck, but you said something interesting. You can't come out like that Friday night.
No, you can't.
Friday night, folks, will be over at the Eagles Nest. Gene and Jerry Jones Family Stadium over at ESD. And hey, I mean, it's the #2 team in the state, ranked as highly as the Scots nearly in every poll in the South. And you got to come out ready to play. You can't be sleeping.
You see this one as That was the one right there from McCutcheon. Easy, taking that one off of the carpet. And you got a freshman in here, Jack Foster, with 2 today. And Cade, I just made mention of that because in years past where you started to see, look, a team that's been rolling, you get into those final games of the season. Last year, it was Jesuit. If my memory serves me correct,
You're correct.
It was Jesuit. You sleepwalk into a game with Jesuit and they beat you. And from that moment, I think that was the one thing that kind of like got the attention of the squad and made that run to the state title.
Right.
So much more emphatic because you felt like as a team you had that letdown and you could have had a pretty much perfect district.
How do you do that without taking the loss? You know, we thought Southlake might have done it last week. You know, you certainly, I don't think to a man, Coach Presser was happy with that performance. The end result is a W. That's great. Did the performance get the attention of the team and shock them into place? I don't know. Tonight's first quarter performance would say no. However, I'll make a couple more comments. Both of our face-off specialists are out tonight with light injuries, resting. Griffin Hamner is out tonight with soreness in his foot. And who else we got? Danger out tonight as well with a laceration on the chin. All expected to be back Friday night is my understanding. So bumps and bruises late in the season. You put some guys in that aren't necessarily your usual starters. Is the chemistry off? Is certainly timing at the dot is off a little bit. You're not winning the possessions like you normally would. Sounds like a lot of excuses, Heckma, but you're right. You can't come out like that Friday night.
Hutch Brooker now down at the face-off for the Scots. And Coach Pressler's throwing everything except for the kitchen sink out there at the face-off. Procedural penalty. Who are they going to call this on?
Yeah, that was on Hutch. He never got quite completely set. Just a little jittery down there is probably all it was. But it looked like the referee got tired of waiting and just called a false start.
That's what it looked like to me as well.
Yeah.
Another opportunity here defensively. Colton Heinlein cutting off the crease. That pass is going to go out of bounds, and needless to say, we're going the other way here pretty quickly. Hunt Henry bringing the ball inbounds, getting it to Dean Doolin. Dean inside. Come on with the score, Captain.
Yeah.
Come on.
Finally.
Dean Doolin, one of those players that I tell you what, I love watching him play. I love watching him play football, but watching him play lacrosse is so special because he's such a selfless guy out there, sacrificing his body, locking down some of the best offensive guys. And for him to get a score, I tell you what, man, that probably put a smile on everybody's face.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And you alluded to captain of the football team next year, one of the captains at least. I've caught up with his parents, already in the midst of captain's parents' duties for spring football that's starting this week. And good to see the Hoya-bound junior. He's a year away, but he'll be headed to Georgetown fall of 27.
And that one, Corbin Gray trying to get that one back to number 15, Jack Foster. Foster just lost it. Goes out of bounds. Possession now with the Blue Jays. I think, man, Dean Doolin with a whole full year of development. Kid is an excellent defensive back for the Scots. Squire working near the near side GLE, pass behind X. And another errant pass out of bounds now for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, another miscue there for McKinney.
I heard it, didn't see it.
It's Grady Gearing there off the pipe.
McCutcheon bringing the ball inbounds. And that one, Corbin Gray loses it.
And ultimately, over and back call, possession to McKinney.
16-3, 8:57 left here in the third quarter. Again, Scott's on a roll.
Conrad Doble there. Works his man back through X.
That's fancy footwork for a guy his size. Branner in now for the Scots with the pass to Gray.
Yeah, so that final starter, I think it was Blevins, finally takes a seat. And you get Branner, Noble, and I believe Rudderl is still in. Let's see, doing the shift here.
Remember a previous senior night, Griffin played the whole game. They never left the field.
That's right.
Hunt trying to corral that when he does. 35 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time here for the Scots.
And it's you see the mix of starters in still and seniors in and captains in. And again, we talk about the midfield line is you just kind of see them all night. But it really does a lot for your team when you bring these youngsters in and they're feeding and taking passes from these lettermen, these seniors, these captains.
God, it's got to mean a lot for a lot of these guys. If you ever come to a game here at Highlander Stadium, every halftime is pandemonium because all the little guys take the field. They're collecting all the balls on the field. They're shooting shots on goal. And the dream for most Highland Park kids is to play on this field.
Yeah.
Football, lacrosse, this is it. And so a lot of these guys have been watching these seniors play since they were in elementary school, coming up here and watching these guys. So being able to share the same field is quite an accomplishment. And so, it's got to probably mean a lot for a kid like Jack Foster.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even kids younger you take Harrison Brown. Starting as a freshman, he was 14 years old. Okay? He'll be 18 as a senior. And likewise, a kid that was, 11 years old when he was playing as a freshman may be his teammate as a freshman when Harrison's a senior. So you're so right. It's one of the special things about Highlander. We fight so hard. Our ground operations guys hate it because the kids take all the balls. And I just say, hey, bring an extra 24 balls. I mean, it's worth it for those kids to feel that it's really makes it feel like the community that it is here in the Park Cities and the treasure of Highlander Stadium in the tree line neighborhood. And, you get the picture. Kids can ride their bikes up here nearly and watch a football game, watch a lacrosse game.
Yeah, well, you guys are sowing the seeds for the next generation of great Highland Park lacrosse players. Another opportunity here on defense. 5:22 left in the third quarter. Squire trying to make his way back inside, and he is not going to get past Noble.
Yeah, our Bantam program this spring, that's first grade through fourth grade, 232 players.
Wow.
Heavy first and second grade participation. We love it. We wish we had 232 seniors every year.
Right. That'd be a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, naturally, kids move on, find other sports, find other things to do and pursue and passions that they want to have. But we're so happy that lacrosse is a part of the lives of so many young kids and families, and we just hope they can take something with them along the way. And if memories from Highland Park's Highlander Stadium at halftime are part of it, we really cherish that.
What is your thought process when you start to see the Scots moving up the national rankings? No longer a secret anymore. Everyone is starting to recognize the program that Ed Pressler has built and the guys that he's putting in college, but also the skill level that you're starting to see here at HP.
Well, I think a man and to coaches that really know programs, Highland Park is not necessarily an unknown. I mean, we've had really good players over the years, but I absolutely agree with what you say. To become a household name, right, is something different for teams and towns and communities in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic to recognize Highland Park outside of college coaches. That's a big deal. And I'll be selfish here to see. I never imagined, in my own son, much less Jackson, you'd have 2 players from a program going to a top 10 program like North Carolina.
Yeah, and you get that. And you're talking about the national polls recognizing Highland Park. And those are polls that normally, as in just echoing what you just said, you get that from the Northeast guys. Yeah. Those are automatic. They're going to get those rankings. And now Highland Park from the South is now starting to climb those polls, and now it's not even disputed.
I get it. I mean, there's a 48-man roster limit now in NCAA Division I. How many polls do you have on a Division I team? 9, 10, maybe in a good year? 2 of which are from the same high school in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
You kidding me? It to have kids going to Duke and the Army and Yale. It's incredible. It's all the result of the kids, obviously, and what Coach Presser does and what he instills in them and what men like Matt Dunn and Garrett Ledman are able to do with these kids. And we just hope it continues to the next generation, those 232 Bantam players, and we just want to keep it going.
That's what's so special about this senior class. The guys that have put in the practice, long days and nights, getting ready for this season. And, man, it has paid off in a major way. As the playoffs now, man, right around the corner. Only one more item of business left to take care of, and that is the Episcopal School of Dallas. 7 o'clock, Highland Park ESD will be brought to you by Game On Sports. I got the jitters already. Ooh, that's going to be good.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, there's so many memories I have of that game, both here and at ESD. Very vivid memory. We played them. It wasn't the end of the season game. It was oddly a mid-season game in 2020. We'll call it the COVID game.
That's what it was.
Yeah. During halftime, we found out that it was the player from the Utah Jazz had tested positive for COVID, and that kind of freaked out the NBA and professional sports. And then that was the Friday before spring break or Thursday before spring break. Little did we know.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah, you weren't going back to school. Probably wouldn't see many of your friends the rest of the season. And then, of course, big win here last year on Military Appreciation Night. Scott's in those camo jerseys. And certainly the state championship last year.
I would get a chance to run it back again. This year's THSLL Championship Series will be here at Highlander Stadium. And, oh, yeah, we'll be bringing you the action. You will get it.
3 seconds left in the quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter. Scots on a roll as they are up by 13. End of the third. And we'll take a break and return for the fourth and final quarter here on senior night at Highlander Stadium.
The best part about being a neighborhood bank is the neighborhood. It's the parks. It's the ball games. And it's the people we get to call neighbors. It's the friendly faces we see on the streets and in our lobby. Because at Benchmark, it's not about numbers. It's about neighbors. Our neighbors. Benchmark has your back. Benchmark Bank, family owned by Texans since 1964.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fourth quarter set to begin here at Highlander Stadium. And boy, this is it's been one of those games where the Scots have come out on fire, in command here early on senior night. Another one down is got music playing. Another one back here.
Yeah, Conrad Noble jumped out. Had the loose ball for a minute there, but
it's Kozlowski for the Blue Jays, able to get the turnover and keep the possession down on this end for McKinney.
Branner there with the takeaway.
So explain to those, Kay, that are listening how the playoff series is going to go. At the end conclusion of the season, you typically have we've had home playoff games because we've won the district. So
that's right. So you have 3 divisions in Texas high school lacrosse, I believe, for the regular season. Your Division I is what the Highland Park Scots play, and as well as McKinney. What you'll do is you'll take the top 8 seeds, I believe, and they will play in what we call the AA bracket. Everyone below that in Division I will play in the A bracket. But we'll start off with Saturday, May 2nd. You'll play your regional quarterfinals, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, May the 9th, we'll play the AA semifinal, 2 semifinal games here at Highlander Stadium. And the following day, Sunday, Mother's Day, it's always Mother's Day, we'll play the championship game for the AA state title. And it's been, the last, let me count here, I'm losing math. So the last 3 years, it's been either ESD or Highland Park as your champion.
Yes. I think the Woodlands did win one of those years, did they not?
So I have to go back and look. That may be the year before that. So in 2023, which is Coach Pressler's first year, we won over in Coppell.
Yes.
In a good comeback game. In the semifinals, ESD went on a big run there. We had them, I think we were up by 8 or 10.
Oh, who was the hero of that game? Who was it?
I can't. Well, Duncan Zilke was he was the MVP of the series. But
that was a hell of a game, man.
Yeah, and then the Scots beat the Woodlands in the championship the next day. Following year, ESD beats Highland Parks in the semis down at Houston area, Cypress Woods area down there. We were down there. Highland Park packed it up and came out. That was Griffin and Harrison's freshman year. Yeah. And then, of course, last year, we know what happened here at Highlander.
So another opportunity here for Highland Park on offense. But, boy, even a bigger opportunity to go back-to-back as champions. How sweet that would be. And, man, if you follow any level of sports, boy, repeat championships, probably one of the hardest things to do. You hear guys like Joe Montana, Joe Green talk about what it's like to win those back-to-back Super Bowls, how tough it was to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you just know last year was the motto. This year is Era of Excellence. Last year it was
the Revenge Tour.
The Revenge Tour, following up on the previous year, which was Road to Repeat. We saw how hard that was. We get a collision into the cage there by the keeper, who was a little out of sorts there and had to make his way back.
Well, he had Grady Gearing come right at him, man, and I think he just lost all concept of depth to the cage. So
yeah, it's tough when they're going for the clear. Scott's a little bit of a ride and gets picked off, and quick one for HP.
17-3 here at Highlander. Cook Chillian down at the face-off. J.R. Faria and Owen Lashevsky given the night off, nursing some injuries. We expect for those guys to be back and ready to go on Friday.
Yeah, you get a few bangs and bruises this time of year. You're heading into a period there. You know, you got Friday's game. You'll have another 7 days off. The first regional quarterfinal game, not scheduled till Saturday, May the 2nd. You know, possibility of it being that Friday night if it's a local opponent and agreed upon to move with that, but likely Saturday, and then another week off till the championship matchup. So a little bit of rest, a little bit of rehabilitation coming for these guys that, I mean, you've said it, Coach Presser, he stacks up the schedule from February to Mother's Day, and just to be prepared for that back-to-back championship weekend of Saturday and Sunday.
And so Saturday, did I hear you right that you're going to get 2 games on Saturday or 1 game on Saturday? One on Saturday and obviously the next on Sunday.
2 games, but it's 2 semifinal games. So
Okay.
so your finals opponents for Sunday will both play an hour apart, back-to-back games, and in essence each have a full 24 hours off or close to it until the championship game. And same at we'll play the Class A championship, the semis and championship, B, C, and D. D championship will be Saturday night. Will be the final game on Saturday night.
And just kind of slowing things down here. Final 5 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, Highland Park content to chew up the clock for the most part, but
yeah.
Colton Heinlein gets him one.
Not a senior, but Heinlein making it count on senior night.
So let's see, that makes it 18 is 50. Okay, I got it right now. Doolin, Gearing, and now Heinlein. So 3 juniors here in the second half. 3 goals for the second half for Highland Park.
You mentioned this a lot. You're always coaching for next year's team. And that just shows you how special this next year's team is going to be. How about that? Continuing to battle is Hutch Brooker.
Yeah, Hutch Brooker.
He took my ball away.
He's a fine senior, headed to Wake Forest next year. And want to recognize, I didn't say it, but his brother, Mac Brooker, now between the pipes, been in for some time. So that's, I think everyone's suited up tonight. Heckma has got an opportunity to get in for the Scots, most of whom have scored.
Yeah, I think everyone's gotten in on the act. 3:16 here. Scots up by 15.
I say that it's only 10 people, 10 different scorers out of our 30-man squad, so a third of the roster.
You know, and Cade, you talked about, you know, knowing a lot of these guys since, you know, they were in Little League. And you've seen a lot of these guys now to this point, they're seniors, and seeing their leadership develop as well from guys like Jackson Bond.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's funny. You know, Hunt Henry's father, Hunter, and I are co-directors of our youth program as well. And you see, I have my 3rd grader who's in our Bantam program, and you see the development from 1st and 2nd grade, and you know, getting hit and crying and falling down to what they start to do at the youth level. There's really no more crying. It's understood it's a rough and tumble sport, and the boys are out there. But, you know, they act like teenage or adolescent boys at that age, pre-teenagers is who's that racking up another one? It's,
you've seen it all. That's Corbin Gray.
Yeah.
It took a shot there after this Grabbing at his shoulder.
Yeah, grabbing at his shoulder. Let's hope that's not anything ongoing. But as they start to mature, like you said, you stop being just kind of knucklehead little kids that are messing around, sword fighting all the time. And it really starts, Coach Presser started this. I want to recognize this. This is our final of our 3 game day experiences, we call them. We invite our 8th graders to come up in, 6, 8, 10 at a time at our home games. And we let them enjoy the locker room experience, the pregame experience, and let them know what it's like to be part of this program. And, the shock and awe that it gives those kids to see these big guys running on the field and the speed at which the game is played, and to hear Coach talk in the locker room and to be treated like part of the team. It's an eye-opener, but it's one of those things that really nourishes that group, because, again, always coaching next year's team. Before you know it, I remember Griffin and Harrison Brown were the first class as they were 8th graders when Coach Presser got here to be able to do that. And, it really translated kind of a year ahead of time to being part of the team.
As well put, partner. And long after the final whistle tonight, the score will fade, but these memories these seniors have made on this field, those will be forever. And tonight, so fitting for the Rock to be in the captain's, Hunt Henry's, hands right now as the final 22 seconds.
Yeah, they'll have to take a shot here or dump the ball is more likely. 3 seconds on the shot clock.
And he launches that one high into the sky. 4 seconds left as this one comes to a close here at Highlander Stadium. The Scots come in and handle business. Hey, Coach Pressler knows he'll make sure that he'll let these guys know that it was not perfect. But I tell you what, they get the job done on a absolutely perfect night for lacrosse here at Highlander Stadium. Cade, look, there's only one thing left.
That's it. And you know what? We criticize the first 5 minutes, and the coach will look at it. We'll probably be surprised at how he looks at this, because you were going to have to practice tonight. It's Monday night. You were going to do something. Why not have an opponent and be at Highlander Stadium, play a real game and game-like situation with game-like stats and an opponent on the other side? But you're right, Heckman. It all comes down to this. Friday night, Gold plays at 5, Blue plays at 7. And it's for not all the marbles, but as far as these kids are concerned, it is.
Oh, it's for all the marbles around here. You got to call it the way it really is. Before we get out of here, I want to thank all of the guys that are on the cameras. I want to thank Cookie for keeping us sounding crisp and clean. And the guy, a fearless leader in the tuxedo, happens to be in Vegas today. Hey, Fred, bet on black, okay? Just got to tell you that while you're out there. Hey, guys, this was absolutely phenomenal. To all the seniors, to all the senior parents, I want to say thank you. And, hey, for me and my partner, Cade Hamner, I want to thank you all, saying God bless to you all and good night.